vloggers and everyday toilet users. It's time for another episode of the Toilet Vlog. So in this episode, we're going to be doing a kitchen vlog, but not really. It's going to be more of one of those like recipe kind of style vlogs that I do every now and then, and most of them fuck up, but this time I'm pretty sure I got this one pretty well because, you know, I already know a lot about fermentation and stuff like that. So I actually have a Cayenne plant, and it's been very bountiful, I guess, if you would say a word, and I have lots and lots of cayennes on it. So I decided that what I'm going to do is that I'm going to make Louisiana style hot sauce, but I'm going to ferment the cayennes. Sounds like a pretty good idea. So I looked it up, and basically all you really need to do is make a saltwater brine when it really comes down to it, and then make sure that the cayennes are chopped, no stems on them, make sure they're fully submerged so the actual like yeast, natural yeast that's on the cayenne itself can do its thing, and then go from there and make the fermentation process happen and everything like that. So apparently you have to wait 6 days. You can wait up to a year or something crazy like that, but I don't know, I feel like it would just turn into like mush, like those hot dogs that me and Wesley uploaded earlier. But, excuse me, I'm going to be making a step-by-step kind of ish video. I'm going to be uploading one video, this video, and talking about what fermented hot sauce is, and like what the recipe is going to be, and what is it, like a traditional Louisiana style hot sauce that is mostly natural fermented and everything like that from there. So either way. So what is fermentation when it comes down to it? So if you've seen any of the other videos that I've come out with, you know that fermentation is the act of yeast taking something like sugar and converting it into alcohols. And that's mostly, you know, something if you were making like a beer or something like that, or a wine or whatever. Now, you can ferment other things, because when it comes down to it, alcohol or alcohol sugars or just alcohol in general is an acid. But that's not only the thing that yeast produces. There are natural yeasts that are on top of like things like cayennes, peppers, anything. You can even get yeast from your beard. Funny story, I actually had a beer one time called Beard Beer, and it was literally a beer that was fermented from a yeast cultivated from the brewery's main brewmaster's beard. So that being said, what we're going to be doing is that we're going to be fermenting the cayennes over the natural yeast that is on the cayennes itself, and with the not with the sugar, but with the salt and the brine that we're going to be making in it, it's going to be releasing a lot of acids that aren't alcohol or anything like that, but other kinds of things that will actually contribute to the flavor and actually kind of help break down the different like other acids like capsaicin and stuff like that. Now don't get me wrong, it's not going to be less spicy. It's still going to be spicy as all holy balls. Trust me, I ate one of the cayennes earlier and it was hot, like stupid hot. And some of them that have been pulling off the plant haven't even been fully red yet, but I just don't want them to go bad. But either way, yeah, fermenting your hot sauce is the way to go. It's the way that Tabasco does it, Frank's Red Hot does it, anything like that. And you can practically ferment anything when it really comes down to it. You know, I don't know. I've made some crazy stuff on the channel before, but I need to branch out. And I don't know if I ever showed you the raspberry jam that exploded and hit the ceiling and the other stuff like that. But fermentation, when it comes down to it, is actually a very easy and simple process, especially when it comes down to doing vegetables, because there's not a lot of sugars in there. And you don't have to worry about anything like really going wrong. I mean, as long as you're keeping your vegetables submerged in the brine and everything like this is more like a slow caused fermentation and stuff. But either way, I will come back with the rest here in a second. So for the ingredients, you're only going to need 3 things for now, because we're only going to be doing the fermentation process. You're going to need a big mason jar. I've got one of these. My God, how many ounces is this? I think if you fill it all the way up, it's 32. And that's kind of what we're going through for, because you want all of your cayennes to be fully submerged. Salt, I know my box looks a little beat up. And a non-chlorinated water. I'm just using this as reference to water. And then, of course, your main ingredient, cayennes. Now, these are my home-grown cayennes. I've got about, maybe about a pound here, maybe a half pound. There's like 50 of them in there. But either way, we're going to be de-stimming them. And then after that, chopping them kind of roughly. You want to keep the seeds in there. And then after that, we're going to take all those cayennes, put them in here with our salt brine. And I'll put a recipe up in the middle of this shit so you can see what's going on. But it's like roughly 34 ounces, which is about this filled all the way up. And this is one of the bigger mason jars, not one of the small ones. One of the bigger ones, you can see by my hand. And you're gonna, excuse me, and you're gonna want to fill that all the way up. And for the whole entire thing, all the way up about 34 ounces, it's gonna be about 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt, from what I can remember. You know, I haven't really checked my recipe, but either way. So, with all that being said, I'll basically post a second video where I show me actually doing the actual process, and then I'll edit the video to like have like what the fermentation looks like, what we're gonna do afterwards, and everything like that. So either way, hopefully this will turn out good. I hope.